Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice and screen. Those who are attending in online, please confirm to me, guys. All of you are getting my voice and screen. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice and screen. Those who are attending in online. Yeah, good. All right, now check it, guys. Then what we completed there in the last session. Any content on what we discussed there in the last classes, kid? I think so. We started Hibernate content. In Hibernate, right? So here, what we are getting there, Hibernate. In Hibernate, just we are in the discussion of like what there, like this. Yesterday we completed like what there, totally enterprise. Okay, then after this enterprise applications, next one is how to prepare an enterprise application. That means enterprise application architecture. After completion of this user interface layer, we started. Then after this business layer, then data storage and access layer. After that, I started with like what the data persistency we started. What exactly the meaning of data persistency? Representing data or storing data permanently in the backend systems is called as what? Data persistence. Alright, to manage data persistence in enterprise applications, we have to use a set of operations. Basically, that operations are what the CRUD operations are called persistence operations. These operations are called as what their persistence operations. Next one is to manage data persistence in enterprise applications, we have to use a set of operations, CRUD operation, persistence operations. What are the various operations you already understood there? CRUD in the sense what there, C is what there, create or insert, R stands for read, U stands for update, and D stands for what there, delete. To provide data persistence in enterprise applications, we have to use a set of technologies called persistence technologies. Alright, to provide data persistence in the enterprise applications, we have to use the following data persistence technologies. What are the various technologies here we are able to use? Right, we can understand clearly. Serialization and deserialization, JDBC, ORM implementations. So many ORM implementations are available. We can understand clearly. Hibernate, EJBC entity beans, JPA, OpenJPA, then top link. Right, sir. Data persistence. What exactly the meaning of like what there? Data persistence. Alright. The process of separating data from an object in order to send to the network is called as what there? Serialization. The process of reconstructing an object on the basis of the data is called deserialization. In Java applications to perform serialization and deserialization, Java has provided the following two byte-oriented streams. What are the two byte-oriented streams which are provided by Java? What are the two byte-oriented streams which are provided by Java? Right, so if we observe these two byte-oriented streams now, observe carefully. One is like what there, object output stream, another one is like what there, object input stream now. Understand clearly. Now where object output stream is for what purpose there? Object output stream for what purpose there? Okay. Object output stream is for what purpose there? Object output stream is for the sake of like for their serialization. Object input stream is for the sake of like for their deserialization. Everybody understand this clearly. Object output stream is for the sake of serialization. Object input stream is for the sake of like for their deserialization. Right, sir. Next one. After this, after understanding this, all right, sir. Then after this, after completion of this, guys, then please check it. All of you get my voice clear. Is my voice is clear to all of you guys? Please confirm to me. Any disturbance? Clear, 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 clear. Is my voice is clear? Please, all of you respond for me. Everybody, please give response to me. Clear, clear. Yes, guys. Now tell me. Any disturbance in my voice? Clear, clear, clear. Yeah, no disturbance. Clear. And Charan, just please check from your side. From my side, it's okay. Then everybody's saying clear. Okay, fine. All right, guys. That's okay. Now check this one. Yeah. Then what we are discussing there? Object output stream for serialization and object input stream for deserialization. Yeah. Then in general, then what is going to be happen now? When we just join with webinar, just it may take 1 minute of time to connect the actual audio. Guys, please remember this. When you connect with the webinar, it may take 1 minute of time to connect actual audio. Then up to the time, just within 1 minute of time, might be some kind of disturbance you are able to get. Just we have to wait up to 1 minute of time. Within 1 minute of time, we are able to get the actual audio. Okay. Yeah, I think so. I noticed it previously. Right. Okay. Now try to recognize this object output stream for serialization and object input stream for what the deserialization. Okay. These are the points that we have to understand clearly. Recognize this what I am telling to you. And after completion of this object output stream and object input stream, what next one here we are doing there? Right. Then along with this object output stream and object input stream, we are able to use two more streams there. We have to use in two more streams. In the case of our regular content here, the two more streams are like what there. File output stream, and another one is what there, file input stream. First one is what there, file output stream, and second one is what there, file input stream. Right, sir. Right. These are the two things here we have to understand. Okay, fine. But how serialization and deserialization both are going to be happen? How they are happen here? Now we have to understand clearly. All right, sir. If you want to implement serialization and deserialization in Java applications, how you are able to perform this? I'll give some clarity and I'll try to understand it now. I think in core Java you already aware about it, but one more time I need to explain this total process here. After understanding this total content, there we can get clarity how serialization and deserializations are going to be happen. Right. Now let me check this clearly. Yeah. For example, this is my Java application. Okay. And this is my text file. Some file, whatever it may be, some text file or whatever it may be, something else here we can take. Okay. Now my requirement is what there. Here I have an object. Which object it is now? Something else like what there? Employee object. Here we have an object. That object is like what there? Employee object. So inside this employee object, we have some data. ENO is equal to 111, ename is equal to something else, AAA, ESAL is equal to something else, 5000. The data is available. Okay. Now my requirement is I want to serialize this object. If we want to serialize this object, first of all, that object must be eligible for serialization. That object must be eligible for serialization and deserialization. To make eligible this object for serialization and deserialization, to make eligible this object for serialization and deserialization, what we have to do, we have to implement, this class must implement serializable marker interface. This class must implement serializable marker interface. This is mandatory. Then only that object is eligible for what their serialization and deserialization. Without implementing serializable interface, it is not possible to serialize the objects. If you want to serialize any object, there definitely we must implement what their serializable interface. That's point number one. Here we have to recognize. Alright, sir. Now here another point here. What I'm telling to you, observe carefully. Alright, sir. In Java applications, okay, or else maybe what I'm telling there, to perform to perform serialization in Java applications, we have to we have to use the following steps. What are the very steps here we are able to use there? First one is create a serializable class and its object. We have to create what there serializable class and its object. Alright, how it is possible there? Now here we have to understand clearly in Java applications. In Java applications, by default, all Java objects are not eligible for serialization and deserialization. Okay. When the objects are eligible for serialization and deserialization, only the objects, only the classes, only the classes, only the objects whose classes are implementing a serializable marker interface. Alright, sir. Only the objects whose classes are implementing serializable marker interfaces are eligible for serialization and deserialization. Right. Now this is the very first step here we have to do. Now immediately here I want to take like what are a public class, something else like what their employee. Now it must implement what there serializable. What data we are going to prepare, that is later on. So some members here we are going to declare, that's okay. Later on we'll think about it. Now and its object also here we want to create employee. Employee is equal to new employee like this. Its object also here we are able to create. Try to recognize this. This is step number one. So here we have to create like what there a serializable class and its object. Observe carefully the same point here I shown in the diagram here. Serializable object we created. Next one is after this, after creating that serializable class and its object now what we have to do there, we have to make ready the target file by using file output stream. Make ready the target file by using what there file output stream. Now this I want to say something else like what there emp.txt for example. I want to take emp.txt. I need to make ready the target file. Okay, emp.txt. The data here we are getting. Now try to understand it now. We have to make ready the target file. To make ready the target file by using file output stream. Or else might be we have to create a file output stream with the target file. Why? Because here only we are going to store that serializable data. In this case only we are going to store what their serializable data. Now this is exactly like what their file output stream. Right. So this is step number 2. This is what their step number 2. We can recognize this. Let me check this. Now step number 2 is what their create file output stream with the target file. Right, create target file and create file output stream with the target file. Alright, so now for that, what exactly the instruction here we are going to use there. File output stream FIS is equal to new file output stream of there we can use like what the emp.txt. Guys, we know already what is the internal process of this file output stream. What is the internal process of file output stream already we are aware, not required to discuss here, but anyway, just 1 minute I'm going to specify to you. When JVM execute this file output stream constructor or this particular statement, first JVM will take the provided file name. First JVM will check whether this file is existed or not in the specified location. If it is existed, then it will create file output stream. If it is not existed, then what JVM will do? Guys, in the case if the specified file is not existed in the specified location, if the specified emp.txt file is not existed, then what file output stream will do? Come on, guys, I'm asking this question there. Already you completed your core Java. We're discussing about core Java there. Now, in the case if emp.txt file is not existed, if it is not available, okay, if it is not existed, then what JVM is able to do? Hmm? What JVM is able to do? Yeah, exactly. File not found exception, right? File not found exception. File not found exception. Right. So that is the reason why then people must record core Java effectively. Core Java knowledge is mandatory. So without that we can't do anything. So here what is going to be happen? It will not generate any exception. File not found exception is not applicable for file output stream. So it will not raise any exception. Then simply what it is able to do now, JVM will create a new file with the same name emp.txt. right? It will not create any of its own location. In the specified location, JVM will create a new file with the same name, whatever the name here we have used there, with the same name. It is able to create a file with the same name, new name. Observe carefully, guys. Now this is going to be happen. Okay, now here emp.txt is available, directly it will create a file output stream. If emp.txt is not available, first it will create a file with the name emp.txt. After that, it will create file output stream. Right, guys. Now this is exactly the point here we can understand. Right, that's okay, guys. After completion of this file output stream, create file output stream with the target file. After understanding this, no. Now let's see this. Now here, what next one here, no? Next one is we need to perform serialization there. To perform serialization, here we have to create. Here we have to create like what there object output stream. Here we have to create. What stream here we have to create there? Object output stream that we have to create. One minute, sir. Object output stream here we have to create with the file output stream. Okay. One minute, guys. Object output stream here we have to create. Of course, here we are having emp1 is a reference variable for this employee object. Okay, right. This is like what their object output stream that we have to create. Now, step number 3, create object output stream with create object output stream with the file output stream. Already file output stream we created here. So here we have to create like what their object output stream. Then how we are able to create this object output stream now? Now, in a section is like what their object output stream OS is equal to new object output stream of file output stream. New object output stream of like what their file output stream. Okay, now this is ready. After creating this object output stream, then what remaining part here now? Just object output stream is ready, file output stream is ready, target file is also ready. Then immediately we have to write this object to the object output stream. So write object to the object output stream. Write object output stream to write employee object. That means serializable object to do object output stream. Right. Now for this purpose, then what we are able to do now? Observe carefully. Whatever the object here we have written inside this object output stream, now where data is available inside this object, env is equal to 111 and ename is equal to AAA and ECL is equal to 5000. Whenever data is existed like this, now object output stream will perform the real serialization. It will separate the data from the object Now okay, the data is like what there. Right now ENO is equal to 111, then ENAME is equal to AAA, and ECL is equal to 5000. Data will be separated, and the total data will be sent to file output stream in the form of bytes representation. Total data will be submitted to the file output stream in the form of like what there bytes representation. Why? Because that file output stream is what there byte oriented stream there. Whenever the data is available to the file output stream, automatically the data will be submitted to the text file. Already the target file is ready, then to the text file, the total data is going to be submitted again. Right, in our text file, what exactly the data here we are able to see, the serialized data. What exactly the data here we provided, as is the data will come to the text file here. Now here we can understand ENO is equal to 111 and ENAME is equal to AAA and ECL is equal to like what there 5000. This data here we are able to get. Right, sir? This is exactly the meaning of like what there object output stream. The next one is what there file output stream, where some data here we are getting clearly. Clear? All of you are getting clarity. Now this is the overall process of like what there serialization. Right, sir. This is the overall process for what there serialization. What we understood. Good. Now let's understand the point here. What I am telling to you. After this, write serializable object. Write serializable object to object output stream. How we are able to do this now? Object output stream dot. There is a method like what there write object of EMP, or maybe here in this example employee, that we can understand. Now otherwise here we can understand clearly. This is like what there EMP1. I want to take it now. Now here also we have to take like what there employee1. And also here we want to take like what there EMP1. That's it. Now it is completed. So now note kind of point is like what there what I'm telling now. If we send EMP1, if we send serializable object to object output stream, right, sir? If we send serializable object to object output stream, if we send serializable object to object output stream, then object output stream will perform the required serialization, comma, it will send the generated required, it will perform the required generated, and it will send the generated, serialized data to the file output stream, where file output stream will send the serialized data to the target file. That's it, guys. Now this is what exactly the work is going on there. All right, now that's okay, fine. Now this is about like what the serialization here we performed here. That's nice. Now I want to perform deserialization. Now here I need to perform. I want to perform like what the deserialization. How we are able to perform deserialization from this particular one? Observe carefully. Everybody put more concentration. How we are going to perform deserialization here? To perform deserialization, first here we have to create like what their file input stream. Why? Because serialized data is available with what there is available with a text file. Whatever the file here we have taken to store the serialized data, in that file it is available. If you want to perform deserialization, first here we have to get like what there here we have to get file input stream. Why? Because only file input stream can read the data now. So FIS file input stream here we have to create. Let's put understand it clearly. in Java applications to perform deserialization, we have to use the following steps. What steps here we record there exactly? First of all, create a file input stream from source file. How sir? How we are able to create this file input stream from the source file again? Now, file input stream FIS is equal to new file input stream, new file input stream of the same thing emp.txt for example. Guys, now tell me what is that internal flow here in this case now? When we write this one, when we write this file input stream, first JVM will take the specified file name. Here JVM will search for this particular file. Now tell me, if emp.txt file is not existed, in the case if emp.txt file is not existed, if emp.txt file is not existed, then what will happen there? For example, if emp.txt file is available, then it will create file input stream. In the case the provided file name emp.txt file is not existed, then what it able to provide? Everybody answer for my question here. File input stream will search for emp.txt. If it is available, file input what this file input stream is able to do? What this file input stream is able to do? All right. Then it able to raise an exception. File not found exception here we are able to get. File not found exception. JVM will raise an exception, not error. File not found exception here we are able to get. That exception is what there. Okay, file not found exception. The JVM is able to provide. Understand it clearly. Okay, fine. Anyway, file not found exception here we are getting. All right, sir. So next one is like what I am telling to you after completion of this. All right. So file input stream we created. When we created this file input stream, automatically whatever the data here we are getting inside the text file, the total data, the complete data will come to file input stream. Total data will come to like what there? File input stream in the form of bytes representation. Okay, right, sir. Now, whenever the data is available like this, then what next one here we have to do? What is that next one here we have to do? All right, here the next thing is like what there? We need to perform deserialization. To perform deserialization, here we have to create. Here we have to create object input stream. Here we have to create what there? Object input stream. Where we have to create like what there? Object input stream. Right. When we created this object input stream, what's going to be happen here? First of all, data will be taken from file input stream. Now, what is this data? Actually, ENO is equal to 111, name is equal to AAA, and ECL is equal to 5000. Data here we have taken from like what the data we have taken from file input stream. When data is coming to the file input stream, on the basis of the data, object input stream will reconstruct an object. It able to recreate an object. We are not doing serialization, deserialization. Object output stream and object input stream both are doing that. Now again, what I'm telling here, object input stream is able to fetch the data from file input stream. On the basis of this data, it able to perform like what there deserialization. Now inside this object, what data is available again? ENO is equal to 111. ename is equal to AAA and eCell is equal to 5000. Right. Right. Now data is available here in the form of like this. Then the data will be converted to object. That means reconstructing an object. When we reconstructing an object, no, that object here we have to read into the Java program. That's enough. Before that, now let me give clarity on it. Now this is file input stream we created. Next one is what there. Create object input stream. Create what there object input stream. Create object input stream. Right. How we are able to create object input stream? No. Okay. Create object input stream with file input stream. Object input stream voice is equal to new object input stream of, then what we have to provide there file input stream. Okay. Then what happened here? What happened here? Then what exactly the point is available here? First of all, here I want to give one point, one simple note here I want to provide there. All right. When we create file input stream, automatically complete data which is available in the source file will come to file input stream in the form of bytes representation, in the form of byte orientation. That's okay. Now here, what's the point here I'm telling to you? When we create object input stream, when we create object input stream, automatically object input stream will take deserialized data from file input stream. That's it. When we create object input stream, automatically object input stream will take serialized data from file input stream, and object input stream and object input stream object input stream will take object will perform the required deserialization and created created deserialized object on the base of the data. That's it. Right. So now this is exactly the process what it has happened here internally. All right, sir. Then after this, what next one here we have to do there? In the diagram here we can understand deserialized object is existed here that we have to read into the Java application. Now this is like what I'm telling there, Java application. The deserialized object here we have to read into the Java application. Okay. Right, sir. EMP2. like this. Here this is about like what the emp2. Here the data is like what there as it is. ENY is equal to 111, is a ename is equal to AAA, ECL is equal to 5000. The data here we provided clearly. That's it. This is clearly here what we are selling there. This is about like what there the total content related to serialization and deserialization. Here the process here we completed. Right, sir? Just give a minute of time. Now this is like what the deserialization. Okay, fine. Now correspondingly, then what I'm telling that was step number 3. Read deserialized object from deserialized object from object input stream. Right, so now to read this deserialized object from object input stream, how we are able to read it? No, understand it clearly. How we are able to read it? No, now employee object here I want to get employee emp2 is equal to object output stream. Sorry, object input stream dot read object. Object input stream dot what there read object. But observe carefully, read object is able to return that employee object in the form of like what there in the form of object type, but I don't require in the form of object type. I require in the form of like what there employee object. That's why here I need to perform like what there typecasting. Downcasting here we are performing. That's it. Now finally here we are getting deserialized object. Alright, so now this is exactly the meaning of like what there deserialized object here we are understanding. Alright, so now the diagram here already created now. As is this diagram here we can understand the same diagram here I want to keep in our content. Now try to recognize this. That's okay, fine. Here we are getting it now. That's okay. So what exactly the meaning of serialization and deserialization concepts here we understood clearly. But here still my question is what? Here still my question is what? Still my question is what? How data persistency is achieved through through serialization and deserialization. Forget about this marshalling, unmarshalling here. They are not applied here. They will be applied in networking concepts. The marshalling and unmarshalling in the case of distributed applications. Not here, just purely we are taking what there is standalone application. Alright. Yeah, then people are forgetting about the core Java concepts there. Alright. Anyway, now try to recognize this content here. Now, how serialization, deserialization are able to manage data persistency? How it is? Alright. Now, I want to give some clarity. Now, try to understand it clearly. Everybody, put more concentration. Because of this conclusion only, today we are discussing about this total serialization and deserialization. What is the conclusion here? In the above serialization, we serialize the data. In the above serialization, we serialize the data, we serialize an object, and we send the serialized data to a particular target file, where, also carefully, here the point I'm telling you, here where the target file, target file, where the target file is what, where the target file is file system, where the target file is what, the file system, right? The target file is a file system, comma, it's a permanent Guys, now tell me that file system is a permanent storage or temporary storage? The file system is a permanent storage or temporary storage? Temporary storage, no? Hmm? Right, sir. So file system is a permanent storage, guys. File system is a permanent storage. Already I discussed about this content here in JDBC. I have discussed there in Core Java. I discussed there this kind of concepts now. Uh, but still, people are giving wrong answers now. Hmm? What do we have to do, sir? What is the use of learning Hibernate? No? What is the use of learning Hibernate without having clarity on Core Java? Without having clarity on basics of the Java, what is the use of learning Hibernate? Uh, then file system is a temporary storage areas or permanent storage areas. So 2 to 3 times we had some discussion over it. Uh, it's a permanent. It is a permanent storage. It is a permanent storage area. Permanent storage area. So if we send the data to the file system, then the data is stored permanently. The data is stored permanently. So we are able to achieve. We are able to achieve data persistence through serialization and deserialization. We are able to achieve data persistence through serialization and deserialization. Why? Because we store the data in a permanent storage area. So in a serialization, deserialization, we are able to store data permanently in the file system. So this is exactly like what then serialization and deserialization. Data persistence through serialization and deserialization. Okay, all right, so that's okay, fine. But what are the various problems with this content here? What are the various problems with this particular one? What are the various problems with this particular one? Right. We are going to see the point here. I'm giving clarity now. Drawbacks with this particular serialization and deserialization. Drawbacks. What are the various drawbacks now? Right. Understand it clearly. In serialization and deserialization, we are able to store. We will store data in the flat file. Flat file in the sense normal file only. We will store data in the flat file. We will store data in the what there flat file. That is in a file system. That is in file system. Okay, file system. It is platform dependent and it is not suitable for the platform independent programming languages. That's it. Observe carefully. Then what's the point here I'm telling to you? In the case of the serialization and deserialization, the total data, serialized data we stored in a target file. We stored in what there target file. We stored in a target file. Okay, the target file is a file system File system is a platform dependent. That platform dependent is not suitable for what their platform independent programming languages like what their Java. This is the point here we can understand. This is one point. Next one is another point here we are able to use there in serialization and deserialization. In serialization, deserialization, we are able to use only byte oriented streams. We are able to use only byte oriented streams like what are the byte oriented streams? No, object output stream and object input stream. Object output stream, then after that object input stream. So what is the meaning of it, guys? Now tell me. In serialization, deserialization, we are able to use only byte oriented streams like object output stream and object input stream. So this is not suitable for character oriented data. Okay, right, sir. So this mechanism, this persistence mechanism, this persistence mechanism is suitable for only byte oriented streams. This persistence mechanism is suitable for only byte oriented streams. Okay, not suitable for what their other data, other representation of data, not suitable for other representation, other data representations. This is one thing here we have to understand. Clear? This is one thing here we can understand. Next one is other content here. Now try to understand it now. In serialization and deserialization, we used to store data in a file. We used to store data in a file. Understand, guys, what I'm telling there? In serialization and deserialization, we are able to we are able to store data in a file. That means what there in a file. In general, file system, guys, now tell me, file system is able to store less data or more data? File system is able to store less data or more data? Come on, guys, now we have to answer for it. Is that file system is able to store less data or more data? Is able to store like what there less data. Understand it clearly. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, Sudhir Pasarla. In JSON format, even if we store there, where we want to keep it? In JSON format, we are keeping it, then where we want to keep it? Yes. File systems is able to store less data only, not more data. We have so many other systems now. Okay. Right. So in serialization, deserialization, we used to store data in a file. So in general, file system is able to store what there less data. That is one point here we can understand. Next one is after that. Now tell me, security point of view also is that serialization and deserialization is providing more security or less security? Right, sir. In general, serialization and deserialization, persistence mechanism, serialization and deserialization persistence mechanism is able to get data from the object and it will send that data to outside. Then it will send the data to outside in a file. So file system is able to provide lesser security for the data. File system is able to provide what there lesser security for the data. Okay, right, sir. This is one point here. Okay. Next one is what? After this, after completion of this, another content is like what then? How database operations are performed here with this persistence mechanism. All right, and moreover, yeah, to achieve that means serialization and deserialization persistence mechanism is suitable in standalone applications. As a person serialization deserialization as a persistence mechanism is suitable in standalone applications. As a persistence mechanism is suitable in standalone applications, not in enterprise applications. Okay. Next one is now one simple point I'm telling to you guys. Now observe carefully. For example, I want to store an object data into the database. How much Java code can I have to write? No, lot of Java code we have to write. But if it is an SQL query, is a matter of one line. Insert into SQL, insert into MP1 table like this, we are able to put the data. All right, sir. Now the point is like what? Serialization and deserialization persistence mechanism is able to take a lot of Java code to achieve data persistence. Lot of Java code, lot of Java code to achieve what their data persistence. Okay, all right, sir. Then this is another point. Why? Because every time already we have seen that coding part also. Every time we are getting, like what there. Every time we are getting in the form of like what there. Every time we have to create object output stream or file output streams and so many some kind of intersections here we are using there. So that is another point here. Next one is what about the database operations now? What exactly the main operations here we are able to perform with this serialization and deserialization? All right, sir. Serialization and deserialization mechanisms, serialization and deserialization mechanisms, serialization and deserialization mechanisms are able to perform the database operations like insert and retrieve. Insert and what next one here? Retrieve. Observe carefully. It is able to perform the serialization, deserialization mechanisms like what there? Insert and retrieve. Okay. It is very difficult, or it is not suitable, or it is not possible to perform update and delete operations. That's it. Update and delete operations. Next one is, apart from these, do you have any query languages support for this? No. Serialization and deserialization doesn't have query languages support. Doesn't have what their query languages support. Serialization and deserialization doesn't have what their query languages support. So it is very much difficult. It's very difficult, very much difficult to perform, to achieve, or to perform the database operations. That's it, guys. So these are the various drawbacks here we have to understand clearly. Okay, right, sir. Because of these reasons, we need to go for the next persistence mechanism. What is that next persistence mechanism here now? Data persistence through JDBC. Data persistence through what there? JDBC. That you are going to understand clearly. Right, sir. Once we completed JDBC, then we will start what there? ORM content here we are able to start. Okay. So that's all, guys. That's all for today. Right, sure. And we will meet for this class in day after tomorrow, not on tomorrow. Just give some time to me on tomorrow there. Then I want to take your continuation class on day after tomorrow. Tomorrow is like what there? Tomorrow is Sunday, right? So give some space to me. Then day after tomorrow, I'll take your session, continuation of this. Don't come for the class on tomorrow. Then day after tomorrow here we have to come. Okay. Right, yes. That's it. That's it. Now just within 2 minutes of time, I'll start the spring class now. Just wait for it. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot.